Hello everyone. Today I am going to start a new chapter, agriculture. So here we will be learning about agriculture. So let us see what we will be learning from this chapter before going to main discussion, economical activities, different economical activities. Then we see how agriculture is primary activity, farm system, types of farming, major crops and agricultural development. Okay, so starting with economical activities. What is economical activities? So economical activities is mainly three types: primary, secondary and tertiary. So what happens in primary, that here natural resources are extracted. In secondary activity mainly deals with producing goods from or using primary products, whatever we get from this primary products, primary activity. In secondary activity what happens is that these products are made further taken into account and made human products based on their ability or using. In tertiary activity what happens is this sector deals with services like banking, communication, teacher. In this sector services are mainly given, selling. So whatever goods we get from this secondary sector, in tertiary sector mainly services are done. So mainly why agriculture as primary activity? Agriculture is primary activity because here agriculture, what happens in agriculture is that in this agriculture from natural resources we get the products like agriculture is basically, definition of agriculture is producing. Another name of agriculture you must know, that farming. So here we will use agriculture and farming interchangeably. Agriculture or farming is producing crops, flowers, fruits and rearing livestock basically. So what so you can see that we said that in primary activity natural resources are harnessed or extracted. So same way agriculture comes under primary activity because whatever we get, definition of agriculture is basically producing crops, flowers, fruits and rearing livestock. So we directly get them from, or we harness them from natural resources. So they are part of natural resources. That's why agriculture is considered to be primary activity. So this question will ask, you have to know, you must know this answer. Now coming to farm system. What happens in farm system? Farm system mainly works in three stages. So farming, in agriculture or farming, it works in three stages: input, processing and final stage is output. So in agriculture basically input are seeds, labor, machines, land, they are fertilizer and many other things. So they are mainly inputs of farming activity. And what happens in processing? Plugging, irrigation, weeding, plugging, irrigation, weeding, sowing, harvesting. These are part of processing. So it is not given in sequence order. You must know that this is not given in sequence order. It is used given for your understanding that these are the activities happen in processing work, and output is basically final product. Suppose we considered it rice farming. We will deal it later, but we get seeds, then labor work is needed, machines are needed like tractors are needed, land is obviously big factor here, fertilizer are needed, then processing works are conducted. After the final product we get rice. So same way farm system works in 3 stages: input, processing and output. Later we will see types of farming. So here what is we are going to discuss? Types of farming. Types of farming. So types of farming is mainly considered to me 2 types: subsistence farming and another is commercial farming. So what happens in subsistence farming? Subsistence farming, the definition of subsistence farming is basically here crops are grown for meeting the demand of only farmer's family. You got it? That's so you can obviously know that in this farming small land is needed. Small land, mainly the farmers who have small land, they are coming under this subsistence farming, because here you will not get any surplus after sowing. Whatever products after harvesting, whatever products you get will be used for families' need, because they are so small in numbers. So mainly small land is needed, and it is for poor farmers. They work in this type of farming. And commercial farming is basically where crops are grown for sale. Here both land, big amount of land and labor and capital needed. So subsistence farming is further divided into main types of subsistence farming are shifting cultivation, and another is shifting cultivation, and other is nomadic cultivation. So shifting cultivation, basically what happens in shifting cultivation in our country, it is known as zooming. So here land is cleared, falling trees and burning. So in shifting cultivation, what is happen that what happens is that land is cleared by falling trees and burning them by the ashes. When the ashes mix with soil, then the crop is produced. Like potato is one example where small farmers grow their crops. Potato, you can consider potato as an example of this type of farming. But what the disadvantage of disadvantage is that after one crop, lands or soils fertility declines. So this is very bad type of farming, but mainly small farmers are engaged in this type of farming, and it is bad for our environment also, because a lot of toxic gases emit in the climate because of the burning ashes. Okay, and normally cultivation is mainly where herdsmen move from one place to another place, move with their livestock. So here what happens is farmers or herdsmen, they move their sheep, mainly sheep, camel are used for this type of cultivation. They move because of temperature change from one place to another with fodder. They carry fodder and move from one place to another. In our country, mainly Rajasthan, some part of Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. Here this type of cultivation happens. Okay, now we are coming to commercial farming. What is commercial? We got to know that big land, labor and capital are needed for this type of farming, and they are used for selling products in the market. When we get the product final, we use them, we say big farmers sell them in the market for money and capital. So commercial farming, crops are grown for the sale. Main types of commercial farming are basically plantation and mixed farming. So what happens in commercial farming, that plantation, there are two types of mainly plantation farming is there. Plantation, what happens in plantation, a single crop is grown in a large land, like banana, thereafter banana, you can consider banana as plantation farming, where big in large amount of in big land banana is grown and they are sold in market. After the product we get, where they are sold in market, example banana as example. And mixed farming, what happens is in land mixed farming, more than one crop is grown in a land, in a big land. So we saw that economical activities, agriculture as the primary activity, farm system, types of farming. Now see major crops and agriculture development. What happens? Major so as day by day population is increasing. Day by day population is increasing, and it has been difficult to meet the demand. So in major crops that mainly in major crops, like major crops are two types of major crops are finally considered into two types of, like one is food crops and another is fiber crops. So what happens in food crops, that these type of crops are grown for our consumption, and in fiber crops are grown for making our day-to-day products like cloths, bags. Food crops examples are tea, coffee, rice, wheat, maize, and fiber crops cotton, jute. So we saw that you have to know that in agriculture climate and soil are the vital factors. It is not like in every place same types of crops will be or can be grown. No, agriculture depends on climate and soil of a particular place. So every different crops have different requirement for growing. And in our country almost 50% population is engaged in agriculture. We saw the major crop. Now we are going to see the last one, agricultural development. Okay, in agricultural development we will be seeing that why our country is not getting the full benefits of our agriculture despite its 50% of population is being engaged in agriculture. So agriculture development means how can agriculture be developed? That by proper irrigation, reducing input cost, soil health, by growing the whatever crop is suitable for the production, we should be growing in that area. Soil health depends, then irrigation, reducing input cost, soil health, plus we have to ensure that crops are not get damaged, don't get damaged. In India and in America, the development America's agriculture is developed because here big land is used. Average land is 350 hectare, and in our country it is only 1.5 hectare. So big difference. A large amount of land is needed for this. Here technology is not used. Low technology are used for this now in our country, like tractor or cattle, but here highly skilled technology is used for the agricultural activity. So we know that in our country many factors come and make us lag behind in others, so we have to ensure these factors, then we will be able to have proper agricultural development in our country. So read this text properly or text properly, then you will be able to understand what I just taught to you. Okay.